So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. We will begin, as usual, with the national anthem. Hello, everyone. So thank you for joining us this evening. We are here today to celebrate the winners of our annual awards, the prestigious SHBPP Humanism and Professionalism Award and the Abdel Wahab Itani Moral Courage Award, to honor exemplary role models in our institution who have shown particular dedication and exceptional qualities during this past year of tribulations and challenges. In such trying times, when the most mundane of tasks can seem taxing, a physician who maintains their dedication and commitment to providing humane care and demonstrate unwavering ethical practice and professionalism deserves the utmost respect and appreciation. On this occasion, we are honored to have with us a number of distinguished guest speakers who have made prominent contributions to medicine locally, regionally, and internationally, and have made a mark in their practices through their ethics, humanism, and professionalism, thus becoming role models to many. Therefore, we shall begin with a few words by our distinguished speaker this evening, Dr. Nancy Oliveiri. We are honored and pleased to have her with us, and she's joining us via Zoom. Although she needs no introduction, Dr. Nancy Olivieri is a prominent Toronto hematologist and researcher who is best known for the public struggle with the hospital for sick children and the pharmaceutical company Apotex about the drug deferriprone back in 1996 due to concerns over the experimental drug's safety. This experience has led Dr. Olivieri to international notoriety as a defender of research integrity, academic freedom, and as a critic of the increasing corporatization of universities. Her principled stand and the resulting scandal led universities, research hospitals, and medical journals to amend their policies and rules regarding industry-sponsored research within universities and supporting a researcher's rights to autonomy. We shall now thus hear from Dr. Olivieri.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I want to I'm very deeply grateful to Dr. Thalia Arawi and her colleagues for the honor of addressing the intrepid individuals who are honored today in the Medical Humanism Awards the Moral Courage Awards, and the Humanism and Professionalism Awards. Congratulations to each of you and your families, your friends, and your colleagues, and my thanks to all for the honor of addressing you today. The center of my controversy focused on violations of academic freedom, of scientific integrity, and the protection of patients in research. And as in all similar stories, my story began with a choice. And mine was, should I disclose safety concerns to patients about an experimental drug against legal threats and without the support of my academic institutions, or keep quiet? Now, many of us will not be called upon to prescribe a doubtful drug or conceal a perceived risk from a patient. But as you will hear, all of the awardees of today have spoken for the vulnerable. And as many of them have experienced, many of us will come to a crossroads in life where a profound personal decision places perhaps our moral compass, our livelihood, or our reputation in the balance. A crossroads which what will confront us is both the right thing and an easy alternative. We now know better than we did 25 years ago as to what happens to many in medicine who act with conscience in the face of power, harassment, the questioning of personal and professional competence, erosion, and often loss of their profession. Many are faced with a bureaucracy which, as Professor Fred Alford has described, aims to transform an act of conscience from one of principle to one of private disobedience. And so many acts of conscience, such as those for which our awardees are honored today, lead to what many of us think of as important choices in life. But as today's awardees probably all already know, some choices in life really aren't choices. As Iris Murdoch wrote, at crucial moments of choice, most of the business of choosing is already over. That is because, in fact, we choose by how we have lived our lives up till that point. Then our lives choose for us. But in medicine, many of the stakes and the rules that guide those choices appear to have changed. Many forces today, made in the names of efficiency and financial imperatives, shape our choices as physicians. Many of us absorb our attitudes and our values from the workplace. Many of us may become acculturated to those values and interject them. They may become our values. I believe, against considerable opposition, that this is not often for the better of our patients. As philosopher and ethicist Carl Elliott has written, it is much harder to remain a decent person when the pressure to break the rules is unyielding, when the stakes are high, and when the consequences of losing are extreme. If we want the moral compass of physicians to point true north, we must make it easy for them to calibrate those compasses according to the needs of patients and not the demands of the marketplace. Today's awardees are being honored because of the direction of their moral compasses, the difficult choices each of them made in the face of an easy alternative. Each of them acted with courage, with grace, and with fortitude in what Iris Murdoch called those crucial moments of choice, for which they are rightly honored. Thank you, and again to our awardees, congratulations. It has been a privilege to address you today.
We thank you, Dr. Olivieri, very much for your generous time and wisdom, and for being the inspiration. Next, we are happy to share with you the message from Dr. Asim Mansour, the CEO and Director General of the King Hussein Cancer Center in Jordan. Dr. Mansour leads a huge institution with staff, including 400 oncologists and 3,000 staff members, and to execute his the vision to provide the highest quality of care to cancer patients throughout the region. He is a renowned certified diagnostic radiologist, a columnist, and an active reviewer, and has co-authored over 50 peer-reviewed publications in prestigious medical journals. Dr. Mansour has been a continuous collaborator with the SHBPP, and through his strong endorsement of joint capacity building and training initiatives, mostly pertaining to medical ethics and professionalism.
تحياتي لكم جميعا، وأتمنى لكم حفلا موفقا، وأنتم تطرقون باب قضية غائبة حاضرة في مهنة الطب، وهي أنسنة الطب والجانب الإنساني بالطب. وهذا الموضوع للأسف أصبح غائبا عن كثير من نقاشاتنا، ونحن نتكلم عن واقع وتطلعات مهنة الطب. عندما نراجع ما ينشر عن مهنة الطب في المجلات المحكمة وفي المؤتمرات، نجد الحاضر الأكبر هو التكنولوجيا، من خلال الذكاء الصناعي، من خلال الماشين ليرنينج، من خلال الطب الدقيق أو البريسيجن ميديسن، وهي كلها مهمة جدا، لكن يجب ألا تطغى على مهنة الطب، لأنها لا يمكن بأي حال من الأحوال أن تكون بديلا عن الجانب الإنساني للطب. ولنعيد للطب على قوة، لنعيد للطب أنسنته وإنسانيته، يجب أن نعود إلى البدايات، إلى كليات الطب. يجب أن نؤسس لطالب طب يخرج، أو كليات طب تخرج لنا أطباء مسلحين بالتكنولوجيا، لكن بنفس الوقت محافظين على الجانب الإنساني للمهنة. إنه في ظل التسارع وعصر السرعة وضيق الوقت لدى الطالب والمعلم، لا يجد أي منهم وقتاً ليتعلم أساسيات التعامل الإنساني والتواصل الإنساني مع المريض، والتعامل مع المريض ككل وليس كمجرد مرض أو مرض في عضو ما. لذلك لا بد لنا من مراجعة مناهج كليات الطب من خلال إضافة البرامج والمقررات التي تعنى بالجانب الإنساني والجانب التواصلي، وكيف يتواصل مع المريض، كيف يحتضن المريض، كيف يتعاطف مع المريض. لأن المريض يبحث عنا كأطباء كمؤسسات طبية عن هذا الجانب، يبحث عن جدار يلقي إليه همومه، لأن المعلومة الطبية أصبحت سهلة وفي متناول اليد، وأي كمبيوتر مهما صغر ومهما قلت أهميته هو أفضل منا في تخزين المعلومة وتحليلها. لذلك أنا من خلال هذا الحفل الكريم ومن خلال هذه الجائزة المميزة التي أطلقها مركز سليم الحص في الجامعة الأمريكية في بيروت، أوجه دعوة لزملائي الأطباء أن يعيدوا للطب إنسانيته وأنسنته، وأن يزاوجوا ما بين التكنولوجيا والجانب الإنساني للطب، وأن لا يطغى أي منهما على الآخر. في عجالة هذه الرسالة حاولت أن أوصلها لزملائي وأصدقائي، وقد أكون أحوج منهم إليها، وأبارك لهم وللفائزين بهذه الجائزة فوزهم، وأدعو أن تكون هذه لبنة في جدار كبير لإعادة الأنسنة إلى هذه المهنة الإنسانية بامتياز. شكرا لكم.
So we thank Dr. Mansour for his support and his continuous commitment and collaboration with us. Now we are happy to call upon one of our own, Dr. Marianne Majdalani, for a few words. As you may know, Dr. Majdalani is an associate professor in the Department of Pediatric and Adolescent Medicine at AUBMC. She's also the head of the Division of Pediatric Critical Care and currently serves as the president of the Lebanese Pediatric Society. In addition to her clinical practice and teaching, Dr. Majdalani has been one of the pioneering physicians who felt that bioethics plays a major role at the bedside and has been an integral collaborator with SHBPP. Over the years, she has had multiple contributions to our initiatives, including the Brownies activities, the spirituality and medicine course, the ethical issues in pediatrics sessions for Med3s, and just to mention a few. So we would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Majdalani and to present her with a humble gift of appreciation for her passion, commitment, and dedicated efforts.
Thank you. Oh, this is a very, very nice surprise. So, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, family, and awardees, good evening. I would like to start my talk by really thanking and recognizing Dr. Thalia Arawi, who, as you well know, is the founding director of the Salim Al-Hus Bioethics and Professionalism program at AUBMC, for the trust she has placed in me since, I think, the first day we met. We met at the FISC hall when you were in the education department, I feel it. So I believe Thalia and I started around the same time at AUBMC, and she has really been an inspiration and a motivator for me at the personal level, and one who loved and still loves to throw challenges in my way, being this speech being one of them, and I'm sure more is yet to come. But I think these challenges have definitely shaped me and have made me a more humane and better physician in many ways, so thank you, Thalia. I'm also very honored to be giving the speech tonight during this ceremony that's recognizing colleagues, residents, and fellows for carrying through their work the mission of medicine, which is very much associated with the broader notion of humanism. So I wondered a lot, where do I start my talk with? And I went back to a very basic question. Why did I go into medicine in the first place? And the answer came so simply and so easily. It was because of my personal pediatrician, the late Dr. Majd Haris. And I started thinking, what made her so special and so inspiring to me and to so many others? I started thinking about her qualities, and the ones that jumped to mind immediately were her devotion to her patients and their parents, the care she provided them, as well as her compassion and excellence in her field. Each visit to her office felt like going and visiting a family member. And I think I'm seeing a lot of people nodding their heads. And actually, I was excited when my mom used to tell me we're going to visit Dr. Aris. She showed integrity, and I can say it with vehemence that she definitely reinforced at multiple times my passion for this noble career. I left for the US, came back 10 years later, and she reminded me of incidents I had during my childhood that I had completely forgotten about. She never changed till her last breath. So rest in peace, Dr. Aris, because you were truly the embodiment of a humanistic doctor. So perhaps we can start with some basics. What does humanism mean? How do we define it? And I would like back to Dr. Edmund Pellegrino, who died at the age of 92 and is considered one of the founding figures of modern medical ethics. And the way he said it is, humanism is derived from the Latin concept humanities, which refers to friendly behaviors and good attitude towards the other without distinction. It is characterized by personal principles and beliefs toward his or her duties and responsibilities when dealing with the others, especially those in need. Humanism represents the basis of medicine throughout history, beginning from the time of Hippocrates and the development of the Hippocratic Oath. Medicine has been regarded as a moral profession and carried out in accordance with a set of moral and ethics. To me, the link is vividly established between medicine and humanism when you read Sir William Osler, who many authors consider as the father of modern medicine. He used to advise his students these words: listen to the patient. Listen to the patient. The patient is telling you the diagnosis. He also stated it's much more important to know what sort of person has a disease than to know what sort of disease a person has. In his last public speech that was delivered maybe now more than 100 years ago after the untimely death of his son during World War I, he was asked to give the presidential inaugural address at the Classical Association at Oxford. He took this assignment really very, very seriously. And he chose to speak in his last words, the old humanities and the new science. And he called for unification of both. He said, humanists don't have enough science, and the science kindly lacks the humanities. This unhappy divorce should have never taken place. Throughout his career, he kept on reminding everyone for the need of humanities in medicine. He says, humanities are the hormones of the profession, And he was so worried about the risk of separating our humanistic traditions. Scientific evidence was important, but in no way was it a substitute for a humanistic approach. So I believe that humanism is why most of us went into medicine in the first place. We have something to offer. We know that, whether it's our knowledge, our skills, or our talents. But what we also have is the most important quality, which is humanity, that comforts us and connects us. So you might ask, what are the traits of a humanistic person? Why are we recognizing these amazing people we have in front of us today? And mind you, humanism, I don't think, can be compartmentalized. That is, you cannot be humanistic at work, take off the coat, and go home and be somebody completely different. So it's a continuum. To me, the humanistic characters include honesty, empathy and compassion, altruism, care of patients with respect to their dignity and beliefs, integrity, excellence, and service. So moving on, you hear a lot of people wondering, is humanism and professionalism the same thing? Dr. So-and-so is very professional. Are they the same for me? I don't think so, and let me explain why. If you want to think about it in broad terms, humanism can be thought as making life better for everyone and leaving this world a better place for those who come after us. So it's a set of beliefs. While on the other hand, professionalism is more thought of a set of behaviors. Okay, so do they meet? Is one necessary for the other? I think there's definitely a synergy between both. So we do know that professionalism is very behavior, it's a must, but I believe that it's not sufficient for the human practice of medicine. If you ask patients what do they want in a doctor, they do say they want his knowledge, but they also want somebody who truly cares for their patients. Where do the qualities really surface? Is it mainly under stress or duress? Let's walk through a typical day at work. We go into the hospital, we're going to go do rounds, we're going to go to our OR, no stress, everything's fine. This is not the reality. We know the minute we walk in, we're going to have lots of challenges and opportunity to forget our professionalism completely. And how we act in front of a patient might be one thing, but the minute the patient walks away might be something completely different. And this can happen in the hallway, in the elevator, even in the OR when the patient is asleep and not listening to how you're behaving. Okay? So we might act correctly in front of the medical students and residents, yet so easily snap at an orderly or a clerk, while actually the medical student is watching us and absorbing it all in. So my friends, it's how we act in those times that truly show our honest values, and this is when we are asked to draw on our humanistic principles to sustain us during the times of stress. The past 3 years have been challenging, even more, starting from the October uprising, the COVID pandemic, the socioeconomic collapse, the Beirut blast, the socioeconomic collapse. I'm even going to mention the brain drain when we saw many of our colleagues leave. Yet, this has really brought out the humanistic trait in many of us. The unflappable commitment to overcome the obstacles, to care for your friends, to help your peers, to be there for your patients, your family, while keeping in mind to caring for yourself. This is truly a tribute to your humanism. So hats down for that. And many medical students have emerged as champions and leaders and are exhibiting the true meaning of being a doctor by setting up clinics to help the needy and raise funds. And this really could not have been done did they not have amazing role models in front of them. So bravo to all. So good role models, but yet we are faced a lot of times in our profession and other professions with bad role models. And can we say that the bad role models teaches the other way that we don't want to act? I really am not sure about this, and I think it reinforces the idea that we exist in a culture that tolerates bad behavior, that accepts bad behavior. And in front of our students, when we say something and act in a completely different way, this will transition them from being a caring individual in the community at large to a member of the league. So our role as physicians is to make sure that the medical students remain caring, and this requires us, or is reinforced by a society or a community that emphasizes the importance of humanism, integrity, altruism, respect for others, and compassion. Without empathy and respect for the human being, professionalism becomes largely an intellectual exercise and nothing more. To end my humble intervention, I would like to quote Dr. Atul Gawande from his book entitled Being Mortal, Medicine and What Matters at the End. And he says, sometimes we can offer a cure, sometimes only a salve, sometimes not even that. But whatever we can offer, our interventions and the risks and sacrifices they entail are justified only if they serve the large aims of a person's life. When we forget that, the suffering we inflict is barbaric. When we remember it, the good we can do is simply breathtaking. I would like to heartfeltly congratulate the awardees for the recognition they are receiving, as they, in my critical conscious mind, have exemplified the commitment to humanism and professionalism. Alf Mabruk.
Thank you, Dr. Majdalani. And now Dr. Rawi would like to say a few words.
So thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to make this quite quick. Dear colleagues, invitees, chairpersons, Assistant Dean for Medical Education. We live in times dominated by an ecology of corruption, where might is right and pathologies of power lurk everywhere. We live in times of the fourth industrial revolution and see the rise of epigenetics, biohubs, genome sequencing, humanoids, and now, just around the corner, we have the metaverse. We live in times hypnotized by neoliberal ideologies, subconsciously destroying our sense of community, replacing it with a toxic individualism. We live in an age where greed is powerful and where intelligence has besmirched itself to become the servant of hubris and oppression. Yet, amidst all this turbulence, we find persons incorporating that lost sense of humanism, justice, and care. In a world endangered by egoism and pride, and in which those who exhibit a type of Nietzschean Übermensch try to command by subduing the dignity of others, there are persons who restore humanism and solidarity, who assert that medicine is about being humane, kind, immaterial, and humble. Wherever such persons are found, they merit to be saluted. To the recipients of the Medical Humanism and Professionalism Awards, I salute you and your parents from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled. You really, really humble us. We also live in a world where those who stand up for what is right, regardless of consequences, are rare, yet they continue to shine like a jewel. When at times we doubt that the world will be better, we see morally courageous persons rising to the double challenge of humanism and courage. I salute the recipients of the Moral Courage Award, Kamen, from the bottom of my heart. Moral courage. Oh, okay. Moral courage, humility, honesty, and kindness are character traits that can be learned and can be unlearned. So I take the occasion to thank the parents of both awardees, precisely and more perhaps specifically to thank that person who carried them in their womb for 9 months and stayed nights, days, just making sure that they are the way that she wants them to be. So thank you very much, Mrs. Harib. Thank you very much, Mrs. Kraidiyi. Mrs. Hatab and Mrs. Kraidiyi, pardon عقلي. لأنه أنت ما خرجك حرب أبداً، أنت peace. So this is a token of thank you from the SHBPP for giving us and humbling us with the presence of such wonderful human beings. Thank you. Congratulations to all. Dianna, by the way, في أمية في عبد.
So, to begin with the conferral of the awards, first the Abdel Wahab Itani Moral Courage Award. It is named after one of our patients, the late Mr. Abdel Wahab Itani. This award was established in 2018, and it is offered to encourage medical students at AUB to who have shown moral courage, stood up for patients and what is right, regardless of the consequences. The award is aligned with the AUBMC's vision, which gives precedence to patient-centered care and emphasizes the value of doing the right thing, even in the most challenging situations and even when no one is looking. It is granted to the candidate who exemplifies qualities of moral courage and shows integrity and consistency of thought and action. He or she must demonstrate the willingness to question, speak up, and be courageous in a world filled with inequities and where people deserve to be a priority. The award consists of a gift presented by Ms. Dianna Itani, the wife of the late Mr. Abdel Wahab Itani, in addition to a moral courage pin and a medal designed by SHBPP, uniquely for that purpose. So the winner of this year's award is Dr. Taha Hatab. Dr. Hatab is a recent medical graduate from AUBFM, where during his time as a medical student, he has demonstrated a great passion and commitment to helping patients in need by championing the Medical Humanism Fund, whereby he succeeded in raising a significant amount of funds from donations and fundraising events. You want to say something?
Hello, everyone. 1 minute. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for coming today. Professors, faculty members, doctors, parents, and friends. It really means a lot. Second of all, I would like to thank the SHBP family for honoring me with the Maury College Award. I hope that I will continue to abide by these behaviors in my medical career and to inspire others to be morally courageous individuals and to do the most ethical thing even when no one is looking. Last but definitely not least, I would like to thank SHBP Director Dr. Talia Harawi for an amazing 4 years experience at AUB. It was my pleasure and utmost honor to be your mentee and student. Together, we were able to impact the lives of hundreds of patients through the AUB Medical Humanism Fund. And I hope that even more patients benefit from the fund in the years to come. May you always continue to shine. Thank you, and thank you all.
Okay. So this year, we also have an honorary recipient of the award, Dr. Firas Kraidiye. So Dr. Kraidiye is receiving this award in recognition of his exceptional dedication and moral courage throughout his medical training and practice, who since his undergraduate medical studies at AUB, Dr. Kraidiye has stood out as an exemplary student, resident, and physician in more ways than one. He has received the Humanism and Professionalism Award previously and has established himself as a role model to many. And as one of his colleagues once eloquently stated, Firas speaks for the patient in places where the patient has no voice.
Thank you, Dr. Harawi and SHBP family, esteemed family. It is such a great honor to receive this recognition. Not only it gives a great responsibility towards commitment to defend one's values, but also It marks my last days at AUB before I embark on my new journey in the US. I would like to take this opportunity to address three main messages. First, I would like to dedicate this award to my mom and to my dad's soul. And to tell them once again, Mom and Dad, you have no idea how proud I am to be your son. Second, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to every person with whom my road has crossed, to every friend I have met. Each one has touched my path in a way that shaped me into the person standing today in front of you. And this interaction I will forever cherish till the last breath. Last but not least, dearest Dr. Arawi, you relentlessly work on promoting medical humanism with no return and no expectations. I think it is time that we, your students, make a symbolic gesture. I would like to call upon my colleagues to the stage, please. Kindly accept this appreciation award in recognition of your exemplary efforts and outstanding contribution to medical humanism and education. Thank you, Dr. Arawi, for being the light of love that continues to shine from within every soul you touch. On it, we chose a quote for Rumi. If you knew the secret of life, you too would choose no other companion but love. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being the light of love that continues to shine from within every soul you touch. Wow. Thank you. And you?
Okay. So, to our next awardees. The Medical Humanism and Professionalism Physician Award. Established in 2012, the Medical Humanism and Professionalism Award was the first of its kind in Lebanon and the region. This prestigious award honors qualities of compassionate care and selfless dedication to excellence and is granted every year to a physician and resident who exemplify the humane and professional aspects of medicine. It has been awarded for the past 10 years to physicians and residents, and we have around 18 recipients to date. This year, we are proud to be honoring two very deserving physicians as recipient of the 2022 Medical Humanism and Professionalism Physician Award, both of whom have continued to serve the community with devotion under these unforeseen circumstances. So we would like to call upon Dr. Arawi for the conferral of the award, and Mrs. Wadat Hus as well. Yes. So first, we have the first winner is from the Department of Family Medicine. So Dr. Umayam Sharafi, the chairperson, please. So our first awardee is Dr. Dianna Rahmey. From the Department of Family Medicine, Dr. Rahmey is renowned for her excellence in patient care and has established a great rapport with her patients and team over the past 20 years. Colleagues also note her positivity and humility in her practice, as well as her commitment and involvement in patient advocacy.
Thank you for coming. I'm not used to such situations. I prefer to be not in front of all these persons. I want to thank God because from Him we have everything, and because He taught us to be humble. I want to thank my parents who taught me since I have started my residency that you have to treat every single patient like a family member. When you see a patient, look into their eyes and think, this is my grandpa, this is my grandma, this is my sister, this is my brother. How would you like a physician to treat them? So the same way you like the physician to treat them yourself. I want to thank all my mentors all through those years, and mainly my dear Dr. Msharafieh. She is not only my mentor in medicine, but she is also my mentor in my life, like a mother. Thank you, Dr. Sabra, for introducing compassion, ethics, and learning communities for the students, because I think that those courses make them more humanistic. I want to thank each of every person in my department, the family medicine department, and my occupational medicine team. Guys, this award is for you. They are my inspiration, and I believe you cannot live humanism if you are not surrounded by humanistic people like you. It's very difficult. When you are a team of humanistic people, then you can practice ethics, compassion, because it all go as a one team. Last but not least, I want to thank my alma mater, AUB, and the Salim Hass bioethics and professionalism, and Dr. Talia. I think we have the chance to work in this institution, and it is the only place in the MENA where we value ethics and professionalism, and this means a lot. And thank you for infusing and giving the right thing for those qualities. Thank you.
The next awardee is from the Department of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine, so Dr. Mikael Aboud can also join us. The second recipient of the Humanism and Professionalism Physician Award is Dr. Salman Mrouwe. Dr. Mrouwe has maintained a very high ethical standard throughout his practice and is loved by his patients for his attentiveness, support, and care. His colleagues and mentees speak for his remarkable humility, respect, and professionalism regardless of circumstance. Dr. Mrouwe always makes sure to give back to the community and to dedicate time to teaching the residents, both on the floors and in the OPD. Thank you, Dr. Mrouwe. Okay. So next we move on to the Resident Award. This year we also have two awardees. First, we will start with Dr. Noor Abdel Halim, also from the Department of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine. Unfortunately, Dr. Abdel Halim is not here. Her brother, she sent her brother to receive the award on her behalf. So Noor just had something to say. She wanted to convey that she is very honored and humbled to receive the award, and she wouldn't have been able to achieve any of this if it weren't for the unfaltering support of her parents, brother, and mentors. And she said that this is the best way to end her 11-year journey at AUB, which has taught her a lot, most importantly, how to stay kind and true to herself. Last but not least, the recipient of the second Resident Award is Dr. Rebecca Andreas. Department of Surgery. No. Dr. Andreas has demonstrated on her willingness to stand up for what is right, and as per the testimonies of faculty members and her peers, she is exceptionally professional in her work and has shown great maturity and commitment worthy of acknowledgements. Medical students have attested to her unique leadership and mentorship.
All the speeches are hard to follow. Good evening. Someone once said that being human is given, but choosing to keep our humanity is a choice. Thank you, Mom, for teaching me that this is the most crucial choice to make. Unfortunately, we are guided and advised on a lot of choices in medicine, but not this one. It is thought to be some sort of a personal journey or maybe an inner work. A lot of times it is taken for granted and overlooked in the demands of today's world. So lots of sincere admiration for the Salim House Bioethics and Professionalism program for this valuable recognition of the most important aspect of any physician. And thank you for all those who nominated me for this award and the committee who deemed me worthy of it. I truly believe this is the highest form of recognition a resident can earn and a motivation for all of us to choose to keep our humanity, share it, and acknowledge it in our patients and each other. Thank you for sharing this achievement with me. Thank you.
Just one quick word. The Salim House Bioethics Professionalism program is getting a lot of thanks. بس خليني أكون كتير صريحة and tell you, it is we who thank you for making us see that there are people who make life much, much better. There are people who will make us believe in the future. So أنا بتشكركم for giving you this award, for allowing me to give you this award. So thank you very much.
So with that, we conclude our event for this evening. We would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who joined us today, everyone who made contributions to making this event happen, including our Khilkhal volunteers, the Humanism and Professionalism Awards Committee, who work anonymously to select from the many nominations that we received this year. Actually, we had exceptionally a lot of deserving candidates this year. Our colleagues, our guests, and everyone else who contributes to our mission and the program's initiatives. So thank you. Congratulations to everyone, and we hope to see you soon again, and we wish you the best of luck in your journey. We would like to ask the awardees if you could please come to the stage for a picture.